What's up, gang? Today's video features Mini. I'm in the middle of getting these ready to get them inspected and then registered for street legal use. It's really not that hard, especially being here in Texas. It's really, I mean, you can get anything plated here. They don't give a damn about it. So I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through some of the stuff that I've already done on the bikes over here. And then I have a couple more things to do, so I'll explain that and film some of that stuff while I'm doing the rest of it. First things first, I'm gonna show you guys how I did the headlight. Very bright, fun stuff. So pretty much I bought a pack of inline fuses off Amazon, and it came with 5 inline fuses and then like 90 something fuses. I'll have that linked in the description below, but it was very cheap. And all you do is hook your inline fuse up to your positive battery terminal, leave the fuse out of here. All right, I have a 15 in there right now, but leave it out. This is gonna be your hot wire. You run it through the frame, get it up here in front of the bike. You can see it, the red wire right there. That will come over and tie into your on-off switch. The on-off switch has 2 wires coming out of it. It doesn't really matter which wire you plug it into because it just completes the circuit, so whatever. Hook up one of the wires to that hot wire, and then the wire that you do not use coming out of the switch will then connect into the red wire on this light bar. This light bar was $10 on Amazon, and it came in a pack of 2. The other wire coming out of the headlight is gonna be a black wire. That's your ground wire. And if you look right here, I ground mine out right there because it is to the frame. The plastic on the number plate right here hasn't started to melt or anything, which I was concerned about, but it's been good so far. And I have not had any kind of flickering on the headlight. It's been solid so far, pretty much perfect. And as far as clamping it on, because I've not figured out if I'm gonna keep these bars or not yet, I just have it, focus the phone real quick. I have just had it zip tied. Super simple, super easy. It took me seriously 20 minutes. I did it over here on Pickle's bike. I did it on this other 110 that I have. Really easy stuff. The next thing you'll need is a horn. This is called a Dayway. I have another one right here off the bike. So this is a horn. It's called Dayway, I guess. I got this off Amazon by searching bicycle horn. But what's cool about it is that this is your horn right here. That's that unit. This is the button. Very loud. All right, perfect for a motorcycle. Perfectly loud enough to pass inspection. Do I like that placement where it's at right now? No, not at all. I'll probably, because like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna keep these bars or not. All this is just kind of thrown on here for sake of kind of getting it all on and rigged up and see what I'm gonna do. This horn was like $13, I think, on Amazon. I will have that linked below as well. But for purpose of having a horn, it does great. And you literally just tighten that right there, and that's how you tighten it on there. Next up is this tail light. It's very big, very bulky. But once I have a plate on here, it won't look so weird. This light will be linked below. It has, it's got 2 blinkers. It's got your tail light, your running light, and your license plate light all in one. I just wanted something to be very noticeable so cops do not just pull me over because they see a little mini bike going down the road. So there's 5 wires coming off of it. The white and the yellow, I do not need. Those are blinkers. In Texas, you do not need blinkers, so I'm not even gonna worry about those. That leaves me with 3 other wires. The black one right here is gonna be your ground wire. You can hook that one up to the frame or up to the negative terminal on the battery. The green wire here is gonna be your running light. That one will have to be hooked up. I'm gonna probably run a wire all the way from the switch up there, the front light switch, run a wire from there all the way back into this green wire. Just because I don't want the tail light I don't want the running light back here to come on until the headlight is turned on. The red wire, that's the last one we're gonna deal with. That one needs to be, that's your brake light. So that one's gonna have to be hooked up to a brake switch, which I'm gonna have to mount down here on the foot brake. So first up, I think I will go ahead and run the wires for what's already there, and I'm gonna do the brake switch last because that's kind of uncharted territory. So yeah, let's get this other stuff going. First up, I'll be doing the running light. Now this is just a loose wire I have run through the frame right here, and then it pops out right here. We're gonna tie into this orange wire right here because that is the wire that comes out of the switch after the circuit's completed. That's what turns the light on. So when you have it on, This orange wire right here is what's gonna be lit live. And then that will make us have power coming to the end of this wire, which I will tie into the green, which is the running light. Let's do that real quick.
This is a Scotch lock connector. It just lets you tie one wire into another wire.
So we're gonna put that up here in the front. So if you look, again, to reiterate, just Scotch lock connector into the positive after the switch is turned on. Run that wire all the way back here into your running light so that when you turn your switch on, you have lights back here. I do not have this ground out yet, but just for the sake of this, touch it to the frame. And we have tail light and license plate light. I need to get a ground on this just to make it secure, and we'll do that next. For the ground on the tail light, I honestly just ran it to the battery because it is close to it, minimal wire, and it's the easiest place. So pretty much just run this black wire is what I use for my ground. Run it just through the frame somewhere that's not gonna be in the way of the seat or the plastics or anything else. You don't want it to be in the way of the spring there. And then plug it into your black wire. Hit the switch, it's on. I'm wiggling the wires. Nothing's flickering, so connections are good. And just to be clear, you do want to wrap up all, since I'm not using shrink connectors or anything like that, I'm just using these junky little connectors. We are going to be wrapping everything in electrical tape. Or if you buy the shrink connectors, you can shrink them with the heat gun, and that is probably the safest way. But these right here are what I have, so that's what I'm using because I'm lazy. That will just leave me with the red wire to deal with. Like I said, these two right here are your blinkers. So the red wire right here is gonna be hooked up to the brake switch. This is the brake switch because it's not a hydraulic brake, it is just a drum brake right there. This, a small spring taps into that little eyelet right there, and whenever it pulls on it, you actuate the switch. The brake switch, this spring right here, this, whenever it pulls on that, you can see it pulls out just slightly. That's what actuates your brake light. To do that, I'm gonna take a flat piece of aluminum strap and bolt it right here. It's gonna be about 2 inches long. I'm gonna bolt it into here, and then I'm gonna twist it with some pliers and then mount that brake switch just right here. And then I'll drill a hole in this and hook that spring. I'll run that spring down here, hook it in this so that whenever you push on the foot brake, it will be just enough to move the tail light switch. This is a piece of aluminum strap that I was talking about. You can see it's thin, it's maybe 1/2 inch wide. We're just gonna cut a piece 2 inches long. Off-centered as all hell, but that is okay. Like so. Now I got 2 holes in this. Not terrible. This is the wires coming out of the brake switch down there. One needs to hook up to a power source, and then the other one needs to hook up to this red wire here. Check it out. All right, I don't have the spring on there yet, but I'll just pull on it, and we have brake lights. I'm gonna get everything wrapped up in electrical wire and get these ran much cleaner and tucked away nice. We'll take this off the stand and put the spring on. Had to re-drill because I had this mounted wrong because I've never messed with one of these before, but hey, weight reduction. So mounted it there, tail light and brake light. I think we're good. And for the most part, that is all you have to do to get your bike street legal here in Texas. Brake light, tail light, horn, headlight. And to be honest, the headlight is supposed to be a high and low beam, and that is not, but that's okay. 110s over Grom any day of the week. I'm gonna say that. And I'm gonna stand by that. That's basically how you get that street legal. I appreciate y'all watching the video. If you have any questions or want to tell me how terrible at electrical stuff I am, then go ahead and comment below. Subscribe, tell your friends. Share it, dude. New channel. We going up from here. Peace.